Show you a short tutorial of how to make a paper shoe from a simple template. Okay, so here is our shoe, okay, and here is our template, and I just want you to cut out around the straight line, the complete line, not the dotted line, because that is actually our fold line. So you go completely around the entire template, which sounds easy, but there are some kind of finicky little parts that you need to be careful not to cut the wrong section out. So take your time and cut really neatly and carefully, and move the paper around as you need to, and be careful to kind of use the sharp bit of the scissors to get a nice controlled neat line. Okay, so you just keep going right around the outside outline and into these little sections until you've completely cut it out. Okay, so I'm going to go to one that I've cut out earlier. We've already cut this out. Okay, so you can see exactly what the template looks like now. So now you need to start going around and folding your fold sections, your tabs. Okay, and these are the little shaded areas. And you can see that there's a little dotted line that you need to make a fold on. So you need to neatly fold along those lines. If you do find that difficult, you could use a ruler, okay, to kind of help you get a straight edge. But I think it is just easier if you just fold them and press them down to get a nice defined line. Okay, go right round. And these tabs are actually going to be where you place your glue. You could use double-sided sticky tape. We're just going to use ordinary school glue today. And these tabs are a little bit too tricky. They're quite small. So if you do come to downloading a similar template or actually designing one yourself, you might want to extend these tab areas if you're going to use a template similar to this for your final shoe. But really this exercise is to help you see how a shoe shape can be formed from a template, and hopefully then you'll start to get ideas about how you can then adapt it. Okay, so you can see I've made the folds. I think I've done them all. Okay, I've done all of the little shaded folds, but I've left these dotted lines, okay, because it will become clearer where we need to fold those as we start to make the shoe. Okay, so coming to the next section, we're actually going to make the shoe. Now I think it's easier to start at this sole, at the edge of the sole here, and just make a fold on that side, and then turn the shoe right round and do exactly the same on the other side. And then you can see as soon as you do that, it actually starts to take a recognisable form of a shoe, and we can begin to see it's less abstract now. We can begin to see how it's going to come together. Okay, so now what I want you to start doing now is actually applying the glue, and this is the tricky stage, okay, because you have to be quite persistent, because it can come unstuck, so you might have to go back over areas. And it's a good idea if you use the excess paper from the template to protect the table. Okay, so I've just put some glue on that front section. I'm just going to start to try and stick that down, manipulate that into place. And then you'll see that it needs to kind of fold over a little bit. And how deep you want that is kind of up to you. So you now need to put a bit of glue where there isn't any line for it, any tab for it. It's kind of up to you how deep you make that front section where the toes are going to go. Okay, this is the tricky part. And you really there's no kind of easy way of doing the sticking. You really just have to be sort of quite relaxed and calm and just persist with it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is start to make a fold on the bottom. Okay, and on the heel of the sole. And then I'm going to go and place some glue on these side little bits here. This is a really tricky little bit because the tabs are quite small. Okay, and this is something that you need to get right, because you can see this bend here. That's to help you create the curve of the instep. So you need to really look along that curve that's on the side of the template and follow it down. And I've got my fingers at the back pressing it down, pressing it into place. Okay, so that side's looking good. I want to turn it around and do exactly the same on the other side. Don't know if you can see that there. Okay, and again, trying to follow that curve as closely as we can to get the really nice high-heeled shape. So that kind of line, is maybe something that you want to adapt or alter, depending on the style of shoe that you're trying to create for your final themed shoe. Like I said before, this is just hopefully to give you more ideas about a starting point. Now we come to the really, really tricky section, the heel. Okay, because you have to manipulate it a bit. So if I start to fold that round and that one round, you can begin to see how it's supposed to come together. And I'm going to start by closing, putting a bit of glue on this final bit of the back and closing that section up, because as soon as I do that, you can see how the shoe, the heel, is intended to come together. Okay, it's going to take quite a long time to get that stuck down, so if it's taken a little bit longer for that, don't get disheartened. It is quite fiddly, but it will come together nicely, and when it does, it should look like that. So there's a finished one for you to see. So good luck. Thank you. I'll just stop it.